We're live. No, Shawn. Imagine that. Welcome to the Q&A with Big Eaze and Master Distiller Shawn Rigsby. He'll be here. So this is, if you want to come on screen, you have to join through the guild. So it's strictly through the guild. I will post a link for that. And then if you want to come on screen, you got to get the link through the guild. If you just want to ask questions and you're lucky enough to be able to view right now, because Shawn was supposed to set me up so I could live stream into the school, but it didn't happen. So this is what you get. So if you want to come on screen, all you got to do is click on that, go to the guild, and the link to this is here, and you can come on screen or you just ask your questions in the comments. It really doesn't matter. So guess I'm sitting here solo. This is like a trial error thing. You know, we didn't really promote this real hard. We just figured we'd give people an opportunity to come in and shoot the shit for a minute. It'd be nice if I had a co-host here to talk to, but you know, what are you gonna do? Hey, how you doing, Scott? We doing a live Q&A. If you want to come on screen, you can get the code, the link through the guild, or if you just want to ask questions in the comments, that's all good. This was supposed to be just a straight stream to the guild, but yes, sir. And Shawn didn't do a very good job on his part, so this is what we get. So we're still just figuring things out and stuff, so we'll it'll be better next time. Yeah, Shawn approached me about the guild, and you know, it's just it just seemed like a place you could go and it's private. You know what I'm saying? It's small. It's small. It's private. It's real private. You know what I'm saying? It's. I want to say it's exclusive. Well, hell yeah, it's exclusive. It costs you $9 a month. But you know what I'm saying? Like it is definitely something that you know, like dude, it's worth it. Dude, you just go in here and you can share ideas and talk and you don't have to worry about any of the BS. Like, dude, I can't even go on Facebook and make a comment with my opinion on things that I've done that I know work without all the backlash from know-it-alls. And you know, and that makes it hard to want to go online and help people because there's always backlash from know-it-alls, man. And like, dude, it is just it's tiring, you know. So what a better way than to you know, just have a little private community, you know. It's kind of like if you go to a festival and they charge you to get in, the company in the festival is a lot different than if it was free. If that makes any sense. Like the people there want to be there and they're there for a certain reason. And that's what I like about it. And you know, just able to like we got it's you know, we're about 15, 16 members right now, and we want to grow it as big as possible, but not too big. And so, you know, it's just a place that you can ask your questions, especially for newbies, man. Like, dude, I am so tired of watching newbies get beat up on Facebook. And it's even gotten into TikTok. TikTok used to be a safe haven for the home distiller, and it's not anymore. And that's not a safe haven either. Even the newbies there that go there and they get beat up by the new know-it-alls and all that. And there just ain't no place for know-it-alls, man. So if I've got to shell out, $9 a month, which is like 20 cents a day or whatever it is, 30 cents a day, uh, I'm down for that, man. Just it allows you to. Are you serious? That's insane, man. Hey, there's too many haters, So it's like, you know, I just want to teach, man. I just want to help people learn, and that's what got us into this, anyways. Was helping people learn and do what they do, and but it's hard, man, when you're trying to. You just want to help, man. Dude, North Carolina, man. Um, all of us Ohio guys ain't going back to North Carolina. Like we're done with North Carolina. It is way too rough down there, man. I had heard they just had the winter jam. I had heard that there was the laws in the tavern, and they was pulling people over when they was leaving there, and there was I heard there was a heavy police presence at the winter jam, and it's like, dude, they went even harder on the winter jam than they did the summer jam. Like, dude, I ain't going back down there. Ain't none of us going back down there from up here. Not saying none of us, but most of us guys that have been going religiously and being like, oh, let's go. We're going to have a good time. I ain't doing that, man. Like, you can't expect us guys from, to travel 7, 8 hours away, spend a couple $1,000s, promote this event all year, and then we got to come there. And, like, I understand there's always an element of you got to be worried. You got liquor. You got illegal liquor. There's always an element, but, like, some places, when they have an event like that, they just go on ahead and turn a blind eye to it because of how much money it brings into the community. And I don't understand why, they don't do that. It's just like you gotta, like, if it's going to bring in millions of dollars to our community, then why wouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't we turn a little blind eye to a little bit of home distilled alcohol and let these people come in and have a good time? I mean, as long as you're not drunk driving, you're not getting violent, you're not fighting and you're carrying on, which that doesn't really happen at the moonshine. It's not saying there's not a problem, but like when we go to Beattyville, man, the sheriffs in Beattyville, they turn a blind eye to everything but smoking weed, because it's not legal in Kentucky. So they're big on that, but they'll turn a blind eye to you having jars down there during their moonshine festival because you're at a moonshine festival. And so it's like I just, it's all about making money, man. You think that's the way they would see it. And I noticed that the pictures from this winter jam was a lot less people than the previous winter jams. So, just, uh, I don't know, man. It just seems like ever since certain someone, yeah, I do. I got some, Scott, and whatever you need. It just seems like ever since the old the still in the back of the truck fiasco and that festival really got brought into what it is, it's just been going downhill. And then I felt like last year there was some divisions in where they put people and how it just it's one of them things, man. It's just sometimes you gotta know when to fold them, man, and we're folding. Us Northerners are folding on the hillbilly jams. It's just it's not a safe place for us anymore. We're not welcome by the locals. Not the Shiners. The Shiners always welcome us. But I'm just talking like the. It seems like we're not welcome there. So we're putting all our effort into farm to bottle. That's where we're all going. All of our effort's going to be in farm to bottle. And that's that's our Ohio Moonshine Festival, the campground on there. on the campground on where the festival is makes it easy, man. Like you get to sleep, hang out, party over here, and then the festival's over here. You know what I'm saying? And they let you do legalities. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a legal state, so you're able to do certain things here that you can't do in Beattyville. Just be chill, man. And it'd be a good time. There's no places, man, for them just to be putting undercovers in private events and things like that down in North Carolina. It runs the people out, man. And you know, are the people that are in charge of the government down there like, hey, you know what? How can we lose a couple $1 million on all these? Like, oh, let's beef up the police presence and make people not want to come. So it's just, it's all about the place and what they do. Well, Shawn ain't coming, doesn't look like. Imagine that. So, you working on anything, Scott? You got anything fermenting? Mashing in anything? It warmed up for 2 days here. We about to get more snow, so ain't no mashing around here. Yeah, you get you every time. Let's see. I'm extending this out. With those apples, did you I'm a big fan of, like, I take my fruit and I make a brandy with it, and then I reuse that apple for flavor. That way I get double run out of my fruit. Is definitely a way to double your fruit because fruit's expensive, man. So, like, I'll do my brandy and I'll ferment it out, and then everything that I strain off, scoop off the top on fermentables, um, and or that I sift out of the bottoms, and I reuse that, throw it on corn, throw it on your next ferment, make a little mountain brandy with it, and just it gets you double use out of that fruit. Hey, apples, they go a long way, man. Like, they always have flavor to them. Even after you ferment them, they still have appleness to them. Peaches are the same way. Like, they keep a lot of their flavor even when they're done fermenting and you strain them and all that. There's still a lot of good flavor in them. I've never done anything with figs. I mean, I fuck up a fig Newton. Like, I will mash me up a fig Newton for sure. That's for sure. Now, are you just do you put them in your thumper? Are you are you mashing them up? Are you pureeing them? Are you breaking them down with a little alcohol? I like to when I put stuff in my thumper, I like to add a little bit of alcohol. I just feel like that it helps them esters. Helps grab them esters when it's mixed with alcohol, as opposed to just trying to pick up some alcohol vapors that come through, because a lot of what's left in your jars and your thumpers water. So I like to dump in a little bit of alcohol with my infusing, and I think it just really helps carry those esters over. All right, Mr. Rigsby stood me up. He a sack. Not that I'm surprised. Nice. Well, congratulations, man. Like, I'm sure you started a while ago and determined that you love that shit. It was like, for that first trip, man, got you, didn't it? And it's been fast and furious ever since. I've reached a point where, I need me a little break, and I just want to help people learn. So, not saying if the right opportunity don't come up, Big Easy gonna run that still for sure. Hey, that ain't bad, man. That ain't bad at all. You know, not at all. What size rig you running? Good afternoon. If you want to come on screen, go to the guild and you can get the link. If you just want to ask questions in the bio, feel free. It's just a private community. Dude, you put some work in on that 8 gallon, fucking pulling 50 gallons of liquor out of some bitch in a year. Respect, son. Respect. I remember when I got into keg stilling. Yeah, it was all about running that liquor, man. Like, oh, I blasted so much through that keg still. And that sounds about right. I blasted so much through that keg still, and then got me a 50-gallon drum. And dude, I swear to God, I ran 1,000 gallons of mash one year, a few years ago, and like I don't even know what happened to all the liquor. I just throughout the year you give it away, you make new stuff with it. Uh, so I was like, that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no money to be made. It's about having a good time. And but yeah, you get into it, man. You get heavy for a while, and then like this past winter, man, winter takes the wind out of your sails around here. No matter you got something fermenting, it don't matter how many aquarium heaters you got into that. When it's -20 outside, that shit's freezing solid. um, how you doing, Oshin? We should be joined by by the other feller here eventually. Feel free to ask your questions. We'll get you answers. If I don't know the answer, I go find an answer for you. I got a phone book full of fellers I can ask. So, ain't no problem, Scott. Man, you have a great day, brother. Mr. Joe, did you make it home yet, Joe? Or are you just waking up from your? Did you stay up all night with Wes? Tell me you stayed up all night with Wes. You can't stay up all night drinking with Wes, man. That dude will stay up till 4 in the morning and be back up at 6:30, bro. That dude's a vampire. A straight up vampire. Still driving. Hey, texting and driving, my man. Safety third. I like it. I like it. If you want to come on screen and shoot the shit, all you gotta do is the links in this here. You got to go here, and that's where you get the link. Come on screen. If you just want to ask questions, feel free to ask questions. If you just want to shoot the shit, let's shoot the shit, man. Yeah, it was partying big last night. Mr. Bentz, how you doing, brother? So, Sheen, man, you know, it that's a frustrating thing to happen, and it happens, and it's hard when you lose that money, man. But as frustrating as it is, I am 100% positive you learned a lot. Even an accident, uh, you just it happens, and I'm sure you learned a hell of a lot. And even though it was an expensive lesson, it was a hell of a learning lesson that you're able to learn from and advance as a distiller, and it will help you later on for sure. How you doing, Mr. Winters? You guys feel free to ask your questions. We will gladly answer them. Mr. Bentz, how you doing, brother? You need anything? You need anything, Bentz, all you got to do is say the word, man. I know things are progressing for you. Hope they're progressing quickly. If you want to come on screen, all you got to do is go to the guild, and the link's in there. This was a collaborative effort. I was supposed to be my sidekick here, but you know how it is. I told you, dude, you can't stay up with Wes, man. You don't try to hang out with the Sandman. They call him the Sandman because you don't sleep. What y'all drinking on? Bloody Marys and water. So now you put a vacuum relief valve, not a pressure relief. You want a vacuum relief valve um, on your pot. In the cape, in the helmet, in the cap, anywhere that's not in the liquid level. You want a vacuum relief valve. The vacuum relief valve will suck air in. It'll suck the air in if you don't disconnect your thumper. If you don't crack it, you don't even have to disconnect. You can just crack a line. Now, pressure relief valve, good thing to have. It saves your still from going because you had a clog or something and they build up too much pressure. So both of them have their use for safety, but ideally the main one you want is the vacuum valve because it creates a vacuum when you got that thumper hooked up. And oh, bro, like that's muscle memory, Toby. You don't get this far in life, man. That's just muscle memory. Um, Toby threw me off my game. Your vacuum relief valve is the one that you really want, and it's a lot. You're seeing guys like a Thunder Road. He soldered just in a ball valve into the pipe. Oh, two uncles in a jar. I love it. You see Thunder Road. He solders in the valve right in one of the pipes. I would. And then like I have a design with the ferrule tri clamps and a threaded that we put a valve in that you put right in your line somewhere. And Oshin, hell yeah, dude, I would definitely. I would replace that thermometer. Don't work anyways. Hell, I think it's in Celsius, and it ain't right. So, and I think that's got this little 3/8 inch NPT. You can get vacuum relief valves in that. Um, But yeah, I definitely would. I would definitely swap that out. Now, on top of that pot, does it got one of those little butterfly valves on it also? Because usually on the tops of those pots they have the thermometer, and then they got that little kick open valve. If you got that little kick open valve, as soon as you cut your heat, you should open that up. That creates suction through. You can replace that and keep the thermometer. Just anywhere anywhere. Or if you're running one of those fevers, all you got to do is just pop the lid. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you're done, you could just pop the clamps on the lid. I got you. You could do that. You could replace that. You could definitely replace that thermometer with a vacuum valve, a vacuum relief valve. I'd suggest it. Thermometer's junk, anyways. I believe in not using a thermometer. I saw somebody asked in Facebook. They was like, "Hey, where should I put my thermometer? Should I put it in the pot? Should I put it in the vapor path? Should I put it in the thumper? Should I put it in the worm?" And then you see some stills, and the answer is yes. It's in the pot, it's in the cap, it's in the arm, it's in the thumper, it's in the worm. They got them everywhere. And you know, I'm not against the thermometers, but I feel like when you run your still without a thermometer, it really brings you in touch with your still. You know, like it hones your distilling skills because you're heating up by using nothing but senses. You have no idea what that temp is other than listen to how it's running, how it's bubbling, if it's thumping, where your heat's progressing, how fast it's progressing. It's also why I like propane because you can see it. You can see your heat, you know, and you can see your heat and you can adjust it better. You know, you can adjust the electric on the wall very simply, but like it's just not the same. It's not the same as seeing that flame, like because that flame changes as you run, as your propane level drops, it changes. So you just have to. It really brings you into. So I definitely reference. You're right, and that's what they should. They're just a reference. Sometimes you do get caught up in watching them, though. You're like, oh man, it should be doing this. Normally, it does this, and it's not doing it, man. It's a good time to go get beer, Toby. Have a great day, man. Uh, so you know they're a reference, and I think they get overused, and people are way too dependent on them. I have, you know, I got a bunch of buddies who are putting them in their worm in the middle so that they know when how cool their worm is, how cool their flake is, and you know that's not a bad deal. I just like to feel the side of the copper, but these guys are using uh, oak barrels, you know, so it's a little harder to tell where your heat level is unless you jam your hand down in it. And if you ever jam your hand down into a flake stand and it's really hot, it will burn the shit out of you. Um, and ask me how I know because I went fishing after Shawn's phone when he dropped his phone to the flake stand and it was hot as shit. Burned the mess out of me. Um, what's up, old son? You still out in Reno? Yeah, I mean, you know, there. If anywhere, if I was to put a thermometer anywhere, I would want it in the top in the vapor path. Um, put a camera on it, man. That's what I've seen several people do. How you doing, Mister Phillip? If anybody wants to come on screen, you can get the link to on screen through the guild. Go to the guild. Should be the first post on there. You can come on screen and ask you questions or shoot the shit. You in South Bend? The pool, man. You're in fucking in Indiana, ain't you? Hey, bro, it ain't never too cold to run, man. It ain't never too cold to run. It just might take you a little longer to heat up. Like, dude, I ran in -20 wind chills. I was inside a barn, but there wasn't no heat in there. Uh, so when I use an infuser, I don't do anything but just dump right into it. You know what I'm saying? And then it doesn't need to be capped above the above the infuser. Um, but if you open that infuser and there's no cap on top, then you're gonna lose alcohol out. That's just what it is, man. And let's hit the fishing game, old son. Pull tabs and cheap beers, baby. How you doing, Justin? If anybody wants to come on screen, all you gotta do is go to the guild, and the link's in the bio or links in the post, and you can come on screen and shoot the shit. So if you're worried about the vacuum, put the vacuum on your pot, man. You'll be all right. And when I dump slowly, the vacuum is when you have no heat. Like when you have no heat and your thumper's still pulling, that's what creates your vacuum. Not dumping liquid into it. Now, I'm not saying your pot and stuff won't go whoa, 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 a little bit, because of the pressure change, but it ain't going to affect it any. That's not going to do anything to it. And dump slowly. Like, I don't believe in dumping all of my infusion in one go. Every time I set a new jar down, I do a little dump. A new jar, a little dump. New jar, a little dump. That way, I stretch my infusion out through the whole run. And by doing that, it makes your first jar and your last jar taste similar, even though they're way different in alcohol and oil contents. They still have that similar nose because you've done the same thing with each one. And also when I'm infusing, every so often I like to have a drain on my thumper so I can crack it open. I can get rid of that reflux water and all that spent infusion that I put in there. That way the new vapor coming in isn't getting diluted by that, and the new flavor I'm infusing in doesn't get diluted by all the water in there. And it also allows you to not overfill your thumper, because if you overfill your thumper, then it's going to puke into your worm. But yeah, Anthony, the only vacuum that you need to be worried about is when you lose your heat source and you're running a thumper, because that thumper's pulling. And then, like, when your mash cools down, it doesn't produce any more vapor to push it. That thumper doesn't care, man. It's kind of like you throw a hose in a swimming pool and you give it a little on the end and you get water out of it, and it's just going to stay running. It's just going to stay running until there's no water left, because it just wants to pull and pull and pull. And if that was a closed container it was pulling from, when it run out of water to pull out and air to bring in, then it will implode. And just your vacuum relief valves, man. The only thing that you don't need a vacuum relief valve on is a keg. Like, you will not implode a keg. I've never seen anybody implode a keg. like when you're running a keg, and like, best part about running jars on a keg, or when the jars fill up, you just cut your heat off on the keg and it sucks it back in. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're using a 5-gallon keg, you don't really have much of a worry. That's a big thumper. The drain is more for if you're using a much smaller thumper, but using a 5-gallon keg, you'll never fill that up, man. Yeah, you're perfectly fine. And you're right, a drain on a 5-gallon thumper, you could just get a keg with a port on it. Like, I sell 5-gallon kegs with one port on it for $125 shipped to your door. It has a 2-inch port on it. You can put a drain on it. Or you could drill a hole and put a weldless bulkhead, or something that big. You ain't got to worry about it. It's mainly for when you're running a small thumper, and really that does away with your, like, you hear a lot like, oh, your thumper's got to be a third of the size of your pot. Your thumper's got to be a third of the size of your pot. Well, technically it does, just because it fills and you don't want it to overfill and puke. But you could run a 2-gallon thumper on a 50-gallon pot as long as you got a drain on that thumper. Is it going to create a little bit more back pressure? Yeah, but it's not going to be that much. But you're going to have to drain that thumper as you run. So, oh yeah, stainless to copper, no problem. It's all about the flux. It's all about the flux. You got to get the ruby stainless steel flux, and you can't use too much of it. And one of the biggest things about stainless to copper are, if you get it too hot, the solder won't stick anymore. Like, there's a fine line when you're heating up that stainless. If you try to solder copper to stainless, and like you're just blasting it. You're getting it super hot, super hot. You're putting solder on it, and it's just running off. You got it way too hot. And it's just way too hot, way too hot. So, and it won't stick. So there's a fine line, and or you didn't have enough flux. So like, don't be afraid to take that ruby and just all over it, man. What's up, Mr. Bean? Hey, Bean, you want to come on screen, man? The link's in the guild. Come on screen and talk liquor, baby. Nobody wants to come on screen with Big Eaze today. My partner in crime left me hanging. We all know. It's a piece of shit. So we swapped the jars just by turning the we swapped the jars by turning the heat down, grabbing a pair of gloves, and kicking them off. If you got a bypass, you just kick through your bypass and then dump the jars out and put them back on. But you're running a keg setup, dude. Just turn the heat down. Yeah. If you're running a keg setup, turn the heat down. Then it'll just suck it back in. If you're not, you can't turn it down. You got a vacuum. So he's going to show up when I'm done here at 1:00. So. And if you got any more questions, man, if you got any more questions, just let us know. So. What you got going on today, Bean? Bean probably left. Yeah, just give it a try, man. Just make sure you cut your heat off because you'll be blowing vapor. So. Let's see. Bean's one of the fellers that always had a thermometer in his barrel worm. And like I said, something like that, you can't stick your hand down in it. You can't feel it. So. Nice. Did you maple and molasses in your mash? Or did you throw some maple post flavor in the rum? Always answering questions. Always. Daily water and Fermax. Nice. Making things simple for somebody. Well, I guess Bean left. Whatever, Bean. It don't like Mr. Rigsby showing up. This is why you gotta pick better friends, man. This is why you can't do stuff like this with people. Shit. All right, well, I guess y'all have a great day, man. I'm not making it till 1:00 today. So, anybody got any more questions? All right. I guess I got other stuff to do. Well, appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll do this again sometime. And oh wait, hold on. Maybe we ain't leaving just yet. Man, that's why we're here, bro. Like like I feel like once you can't say you learned everything, but like once you've advanced to a certain point, like I feel like it's your duty to help, help promote the craft. You know what I'm saying? Help expand the community, and like that's what I think it's all about, man. Like man, I mean, never stop advancing your craft, but there's a certain point to where when you feel comfortable enough to provide quality information and it's not just BS or busting somebody's balls, it's you're just you enjoy giving quality information, then that makes a huge difference. Hey, nice of you to join us. That's
Well,
start of the show there. We don't care about you. How's the boss doing? She having a good day?
who?
The boss.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's having something. We'll go with that.
Making sure you jumping through them hoops, huh?
Well, I need to. So,
It said like I think in certain states it will continue to grow, and in certain states like North Carolina, it won't continue to grow because they just want to shit everybody down in there.
well, no. Let's go back to Mr. Moonshine Shua. Hate to point fingers, so we'll just drop names instead. Causing problems and
really
you know,
brought I think it takes one unintentional act
yeah,
can really change things when people start looking at you bring eyes onto what you got going on that you didn't have, like or that the local governments didn't understand what it was really about. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was more of it. Honestly, they didn't really realize. Like they probably thought, he was taking a still to set it up somewhere or whatever.
Yeah,
They didn't realize that.
it was a moonshine festival.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, it was really like it was really lax. You know what I'm saying? Like for the first couple years, the first few years that I went, it was like really really relaxed. And then you had the still in the back incident, which I don't know why anybody would drive across the country without tarping a goddamn still. I
Yeah.
ain't
I mean,
driving down the road without tarping a still.
well, across town is one thing, but you're
Yeah,
gonna put
or in a
1,000 miles.
pinch, you got to. You know what I'm saying? But like several,
Right. And
and
I mean, they were. Well, what size was it? 50 gallons that he had.
yeah, I just and it just seems like ever since then, things really changed. It was the big thing. You can't sell corn here, can't have this here, and then the year after, it was all there was undercovers all in the place. And that's when they busted old Crummy for a
Who?
pouch. Crumb when they rolled up on Crumb uh,
Oh,
2 years ago. And then, this year it was all just, the undercovers walking around and then letting certain people do things that you're not allowed to do,
right.
and how they separated you and how they put you. And then, just like, I heard the jam they just had that the law enforcement presence was really heavy.
Hmm. I
I
know they
heard that,
always would sit like down the road or whatever, but
I
they
heard they
typically
were,
would leave everybody alone.
they were in the tavern, full police gear. Like, hey,
Was there any kind of an issue or something? I wonder.
no, no, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Looking for people passing jars, I guess. 'Cause last year when we was there in the tavern, we was out back. You had the Uncle Joey crew along the fence,
Imagine
and
that.
then what I'm saying, you had the big easy crew. Everybody jar here, try this, try that. Once it got dark, you know what I'm saying, try this. But dude, it was just it's sad to hear that, man. Like it is definitely it makes makes a lot of us not want to go, not want to attend, spend all the time and money it takes. Like, dude, it's not an easy feat to go to North Carolina for the weekend.
No,
you
it's
know?
a, 6 hour, 6.5 hour drive, and and then of course you have to plan well for the drive, then place to
Yeah.
stay, and it's $1,000 ordeal at the end of the day.
Oh, it's $250 a night just to stay, and you're going to go for 3 nights, and then like it's $1,000, $2,000 deal to go, and then have to worry the whole time. Like I said, man, there is always going to be an aspect of, hey, I could get in trouble. I got some legal liquor here, but when you go to a moonshine festival, like they should turn a blind eye to what's going on. Like
Well, for the longest time, I mean, like I said, they would pretty much leave people alone, and because it's a lot of revenue for that little town.
oh yeah, I mean,
even twice a year, it was especially when it was down there at the Rendezvous. I mean, dude, that place was packed, and
how you doing, Mr. Aubrey?
yeah, I don't know what's going on, James.
Yeah, it changed a lot. So that's what I liked about when we go to Beattyville. The sheriffs are like, you guys go ahead and do your jar thing.
Yeah.
But
well, I
they
mean,
don't want.
Again, that's kind of a revenue stream for them, and they know, I mean, and Kentucky's. I don't know if they're more of a poor town than what Maggie Valley is. I don't know, but I mean, I know Lee County. It's not exactly very
Right.
And most of the revenue, I would say, comes from the like the Natural Bridge area, right up the road.
And it's just crazy, man. How different places just treat you differently, and like you said, like when you take 20 people who normally go to Maggie Valley every year, just those people, let alone all the family, friends that they bring with them. Like, dude, that's a lot of revenue loss just because your local police are just, so heavy on worrying about 15 cents off a jar of liquor. You know what I'm saying? Worried about $2 of taxes on a jar of liquor.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much all it's.
Yeah, like say they collected every jar that everybody brought for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? How much revenue in taxes is that? A couple $1,000s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, is that worth all the money spent by the state and the county to try to catch a couple $1,000s worth of taxable liquor?
Yeah.
Like, and if at these things it was like, insane, people getting drunk and fighting and brawling it out and car accidents everywhere, then I would understand crack down on a nuisance, but
Right.
you don't never see stuff like that. So
No, I mean, yeah, no, I get it, but hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I just I would figure that the law down there would have bigger and better things to do.
yeah,
I mean, now, like, if someone left, got drunk, or was drunk, left, and fucking, hit some fucking pedestrians or something and killed them or whatever, then okay.
If you pull out of there hammered, then you put yourself in that situation. You deserve if something happens with, you get caught. But like, supposedly they were just pulling people over when they was pulling out of the tavern. Like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you doing? Like,
yeah, if that's not what's the word I'm looking for?
They're profiling. Like they're profiling, and they'll have PC like, oh well, you swerved, you pulled out too fast, or
yeah. Well, I mean, they get
yeah, you blinked when you shouldn't have.
Well, that's how that little brewery here in town is. Well, in Springfield, like literally the next block up is the police station, and that was the biggest concern when that come into town because they're like, okay, well, I mean, if the police department's right there, who all's going to come down to the brewery, and are they going to, essentially just wait for people to pull out of the fucking parking lot?
Yeah, I mean, if there's cops that sit outside of a local bar, I'm not going to go drink at that bar. Like, let's be for real, like.
Yep, but they'll figure it out. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, it gets figured out fairly soon.
Right. It won't be. So we're all just gearing up for Farm to Bottle in mid-August this year.
Pay taxes on the
Yeah, we pay taxes on everything, man. Everything.
Multiple times too. I mean,
I'm so tired of paying taxes on everything, and I don't make no money off the liquor. Like, I'm taking me a couple years off. It's too much work, man. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it, but the situation's got to be right.
fentanyl, drug dealers. Yeah, no, I agree, O'Sheen. And there's a lot more money in that stuff for the law.
You would think. But... All right. Well, this is a little trial run thing. Said we'll do this again, and we'll promote it heavy.
Job at getting there on time.
Well, to be fair, I told Shawn 1 o'clock like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but I posted noon up in the guild, and then like I couldn't change it in the guild, so I just changed it on Shawn. He'll be all right, And I got to bust his balls about not being here. It was a win-win for me, so he'll be all right.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, we're not on tomorrow. We're not on. No, we have nobody tomorrow.
Oh,
and
good.
Then next week we'll have Bennett on. You guys go watch our buddy old Daniel Stevens, Moonshiner Bennett. It's going to be on Master Distiller this Tuesday at 9 p.m. I believe it is the final episode of Master Distiller, supposedly ever. So we're going to see if they saved the best for last, or if his performance was so bad they decided to end the show.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he definitely, he said something about the camera put on 50 pounds, and then I made a comment on one of his posts. I asked him, well, how many fucking cameras did they have on him?
Apparently all of them. Did you see?
Apparently he took offense to that.
He did. Hit them GLP-1s heavy afterwards. He's looking real nice now.
Hey, it's all in just looking out for him,
It's all about angles. But yeah, so I know Tuesday, a lot of us were going to go live on TikTok and just watch it together, since we all can't just make it to North Carolina on a Tuesday to watch.
Is it this Tuesday?
Yep, March 3rd,
I'll
9
be
p.m. Imagine that. So just really look forward to celebrating his achievement. And there wasn't all this when Shawn was on, so we all couldn't get together and bust his balls. And we're going to bust his balls hard.
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of people showed up to my release, and there's one thing I will not miss is Bennett's release. And, yeah.
Agreed.
I
will be there for that. At Two Trees. What's that, like Fletcher, North Carolina or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, we will be at the Two Trees for that. And I think they told him like 60 cases or some shit like that.
That's it, yeah.
I'm like, bro, you best tell them, you better have 500 jars sitting on that shelf.
Yeah, it'll go pretty quick.
Yeah, like, there ain't nothing worse. Like you run out of jars, you got all these people wanting more, like, I buy 10. Every time I go to release and it's one of my buddies, I'm buying 10. That way I got a couple extras for later on.
Yep.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I bought 10 of Tater's jars when we was down there. So,
oh yeah.
But, y'all tune in tonight. Two Uncles, One Jar at 8 o'clock. They get freaky on there, and
like two cups and one. What's the other one?
Two Uncles in a jar.
Yeah, but what's the other?
Two girls, one cup.
Two girls, one cup.
I just dude, the name just throws me off, man. And they're a little older, so they didn't understand what they were doing. But I picked it up instantly, so thank you very much. All right, yeah, y'all check them out at 8. I'm sure it'll be a good show. So
it's over on the Morgan's, isn't it? Morgan's.
Yeah, it's over on Morgan's
podcast.
There's podcasts every night except Tuesdays. So
yes, there is.
And even sometimes when one comes on Tuesdays, nobody want to watch it. All right, we will. Like I said, Tuesday we'll be on TikTok for Bennett's thing, and we'll see if he can become the next and final master
Nah,
distiller.
he's gonna be the piece of shit, the first one to go out.
Oh yeah, dude. I hope he is. I hope he goes out first. That way we can bust him the whole time.
Hopefully, he overflows his worm or something.
Yeah. You don't know nothing about that.
Not a thing.
And
Hey,
if he does, he's like, yeah, I learned that from Rigsby. Then it's all worth it. So you can watch it through the Moonshine Militia Podcast Network. Distilling 101's on Tuesday. I thought that was on Saturday.
There may be another one. What's the
I
one?
I think he does a different version on Tuesdays. I don't know.
What's the one with Wayne? When's that on? Wayne and Amanda.
Bro, I have no idea, man. I have enough fucking time getting here for this on a normal schedule on Monday night. So it was just like we set this up, want to try a little something. Was wanting to broadcast it straight through the guild, but I don't have admin access yet, even though I've been asking for 6 fucking months. And
hey, I'm right on schedule then.
And I am the highest level member in the guild, but I still can't get admin access. Pick better friends. That's all I can tell you. My advice for today is pick better friends, and don't expect too much of them, and you won't be disappointed.
Live and learn, right?
How you doing, Mr. Davis? I saw Mr. Davis last night. All right, he's on twice. Yeah, Tuesdays and Sundays. Or Saturdays. So
I got you.
All right. Well, y'all take care, man. We'll see y'all later.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. Y'all want a private group? We'll hang out in a guild. Y'all take care. See ya on Tuesday from TikTok, or next Monday. We'll have Mr. First Out, Daniel Stevens. Hey, y'all take care.